that we have an idea of the kinds of tools we can use and the fact that there are tools aplenty in the market, let's come back a little bit to the challenges, right? We've already touched on the fact that AI can be a boon, but can also be a little bit of a curse. So, what do you foresee are anything that our audience here should look out for when they're looking at AI tools and looking to adopt them? And how can they be overcome, so that we're already on our guard?
All right. So I think the major challenge while you are shifting to AI systems, one is that what one that I personally experienced is that AI kind of does take control of my learning also. If you look at the social media effect of social media on people today, right? It has been found that these studies say that it tempts you to become more extremist in your belief system, because AI is constantly pushing a similar kind of content to you, which kind of defines your belief system and makes you extremist as a personality. So that is one thing which I see as a challenge, because as soon as I see an impact of a technology over my personality or my core, is where my retaliation towards that AI starts to come in. So looking at that is from an end user perspective, like that is one challenge which I see in future, where people might not want to give control to an AI in terms of what they want to learn. Right. For now, while there is no guidance available, effective guidance available, and effective coaches are required, this is the best solution that can that you can actually go up to. But I'm pretty sure that like the advanced stages of AI that come in, right, that will actually solve it. So I don't typically want to look at it as a challenge. The way I look at it, that AI again is being developed from the same Maslow laws of needs, right? So initially, the set of AIs that were designed, the chatbots that were designed to cater to the physiological needs that were there, more to the safety assessments, or if you look at the basic needs from technology, right? You might want people to it to answer a FAQ, right? This is something which I want to understand about my organization or about my business. It's a frequently asked question. What is the ideal customer profile for my business? What is the buyer persona of the ideal customer profile that is purchasing my services? All of these are FAQs. Now, answering FAQs was the basic level kind of a requirement that these tools could have solved. Now, with the regenerative capability, where the systems are, an AI is constantly training itself to answer better, to think critically. Although I find that in some of these spaces it is not working out that effective, but it will evolve over the period of time. Over the period of time, it is supposed to make itself more consumable for the end users, without giving them that fear of a very superior authority sitting on them, which they cannot beat or they cannot outsmart. So that is one thing which is there. How to solve it? I think stories. It's mostly learning and development is about stories. People love a good story, and if you're sharing your information or your insights in form of a story to people, their tendency to believe it or accept it increases a lot. So always finding out those stories about how learning and development or AI usage has helped people to perform better, to give better results, would actually encourage people to migrate towards these AI systems and the traditional approaches that they currently are following. I think building peer circles inside the organization which have the similar kind of a thought, giving them a community to manage that thought, would be the second idea to actually implement inside the organization. Because if you want to bring in change management, it always starts with a very certain specific set of people which are most ready to endorse that change, or who are closer to that desired state that you want to go. So on those lines, I think making more space for peer sharing, coaching circles, mentoring, like this is something which is going to be very essential to cope up with this challenge. Other than this, I think rewards is again motivation, right? So it is extremely important for us to design proper rewards, design proper recognition methods for people, for people to actually go there. So having gamified methods like leaderboards and badges for helping people do more and more learning, and then spending the optimum amount of time over the learning, is something which is also very encouraging, and we have seen very fruitful results in our organization while we actually implemented that.
I think no, that's a very heartening answer, and I love how you speak about community as a really big and powerful tool. This is something that I observed in the shape of work, the TSOW community, where people were constantly asking each other questions, and a lot of it was anonymous, and linking everyone to each other instantly. Like within a matter of a day, people were able to put their holiday calendars in place and get access to different kind of tools, and even people who work in those companies. But what I really want to know a little bit more about is how you speak about stories. Where do you get your stories from? Is it LinkedIn scrolling? Is it, are you subscribed to newsletters? Where are you learning and, smoothing your path towards AI?
Right. So for me, yeah, of course, I think digital learning is one of the methods that I endorsed. I have been endorsing for more than a decade now. This is something which I find very effective because my acumen is aligned towards digital learning. Other than that, I think one of the most effective ways of learning is always, finding those right set of super cooperators who are actually easy, who are easy to go to people, right? I go to them in a very easy method. They're able to communicate the set of things. I have that alignment with them that they are able to do it effortlessly, right? While maybe somebody who I'm not aligned with will take a lot more time. So while I was talking about these stories, right, the stories of how it works, it is important first to create that story also, right? So in our organization, I would like to bring in that approach of how did we do that. So initially, like while uh, last year, couple of years now, when we raised our first round of funding, which was Series A funding for Keika was $57 million, which was the largest Series A funding in our space. Now, with that kind of a funding coming in, we had a big responsibility of scaling, for the sake of our investor and as well as our people as well. So as you go about scaling your business, the first thing that you do is you bring in more people, right? You need more hands, of course. From a size of 200 odd people at that point of time, we scaled ourselves to what I think we are 1,200 or 1,300 people in the organization as of now. Now, this rapid increase of people in, 1,000, 1,100 addition of people in the last 2 years, learning and development immediately took a very, very, it became the strongest need of the hour. Because, what we were figuring out, the traditional method of learning where we learn how our business works, what are the things which work for our business, which are the things which don't work, right? It took 5 to 6 years for us to develop that intelligence to remove that fuzzy thinking about what works, what does not work. It was very hard for us, our people, to initially understand that what will work, what will not. So they were all over the place. So over there, these progressive AI based learning program systems actually helped people to stick through. Do not, initially we found that people were getting lost into the first two programs itself, and then they were like, more than the solution, it is becoming a chaos for themselves. So this is something which got simplified by utilizing AI in our workplace. So that is there, Shambhu.
Great. Thank you. I love how you answered a question about stories by story itself.